How's it going out there? Welcome from H2TechVideos. Today we're going to be doing the pros and cons, worth it or waste, on the iPad Air. Just came out over a couple months ago, and we're just going to go over the specs, let you know what we think, and let you know ultimately, is it a worth it buy or is it a waste? Let's jump right in. So first pro is going to be that it does have the Retina Display, which was added previous generations, and so they have kept that Retina, which does make it vibrant, sharp, clear, great for reading text. Games look great. All great pluses there. So same Retina you're used to. That's awesome. You also now have more color options. Now before, the iPad came in black and it came in white. Basically the bezel right here will either be black or white. Well, now they have made some changes to the back design, so now you can get it in either a space gray or a silver. So this one is the black one, which is the space gray, and I believe when you purchase the white one, that one is the silver. So that's kind of how the breakdown works. So I think it's cool they finally have did some customization to the back, so at least now it looks a little bit different, you know. So plus there. Next pro is going to be it is a lot lighter and thinner. This is actually 20% lighter than the previous iPad, and it's also a lot thinner. It's definitely noticeably thinner. Okay, it's only weighs 1 pound, and it is literally 20% thinner than the last year's iPad, which was the one when they added the Retina there. So great pluses there. If you have an iPad and you were to feel this, it is noticeably different. You can definitely tell it is a lot lighter and there's a better feel to it. Now here's the problem. If you go into a store, most stores have it on a display, so you can't really get a good determiner of if it really is lighter. Let me tell you, it is definitely lighter, and that was always one of my biggest cons to the iPad in the past, especially when they first added the Retina display. It got so much heavier. If you feel an iPad 2, and then you feel the new iPad with Retina, there, you know, like the iPad 2 was thin, and then the 3, which is the new iPad, and the new iPad with Retina, those all got heavier, and that's what I hated, because you don't want it to get heavier, you want it to get lighter. So anyway, it's back to the light design. I definitely wish I could get an iPad 2 and I'd compare it, because definitely these feel a lot better. So it's great that it's finally lighter. So anyway, that's our next pro right there. It also does allow you now to record 1080p video. So the rear camera does give you the ability to do that now. HD full 1080p video. Granted, I don't know how many people are actually recording with an iPad. Now, I'm sure we've all been to an event when we see some idiot standing there holding up a huge iPad. Sorry if I'm talking about any of you guys. I really wouldn't look at this as a device to record. The quality is going to be good, but not great. So it's a pro that you can record 1080p video, but I don't think it's that big of a deal, just in my opinion. I think you should be using a cell phone or possibly an actual camera if you want to record video, not a tablet, just in my personal opinion. So those couple pros there, those are all the specific pros that are to the iPad Air. Now the next set of pros I have are just specifically for the iPad in general, just making a case for it being, you know, a cool tablet. So the first thing is you get a really simple interface. All your apps are all in the front, so you never have to worry about losing them or not being able to find them. It's very simple. It's only one button on here, which is right here at the bottom. So whenever you go into an app store, you just hit that button and it takes you right back to home. And they've added a couple of features in terms of now you can swipe up to turn your Wi-Fi and Bluetooth on and off, as well as to control your volume and the screen brightness. And you have a shortcut as well to the camera. And I love this, because these are all things I was wishing that they would have added a long time ago. So now they've kind of made it easier, just a swipe right from the bottom there. And then you can swipe from the top to get notifications about calendar events and different things that you're doing, and also apps will communicate via the notification section. And third thing is you can now swipe right in the middle and bring up a quick search if you want to search for like an email, an app, a song, whatever. So those are all just in a nutshell, that's really how you work this thing. There's really not a lot to it. It does take some time to set up, but once you get it set up, it's a fairly easy tablet to operate, and that's why I like it. It definitely is on the list of top 3 just simple, easy tablets. Kindle Fire definitely is up there as well. Super simple interface. So that's what I would give a pro for this tablet, because, you know, with some basic instruction, anyone should be able to operate this thing. Whereas some of the Android tablets, although they're great, it does take a little more know-how to operate those. Next pro, and this has again been my pro for the iPad since day one, is the email app. Is so much easier than logging onto a computer and having to do your email on there. Let's go to email real quick, just so I can give you a quick peek at that. Let's go to, and let's do, okay, go to my iCloud email. So this is my email account for what do you call it, iMail, or iCloud, excuse me, sorry, little brain fart there. And so I've always loved just the simplicity of their email section, because, you know, one, you never have to sign in, you never have to put your password in, you never have to do any type of search. You literally just open up mail and it's right there. It's constantly updating, constantly showing you your new emails, and, you know, here's, you know, different emails there. You know, easy to just tap it, be able to look at, you know, the email, and then to delete, trash can, and it's gone. So all that to say that this tablet, to me, has always been so great, especially for the person that just wants to check their email, wants to search the web and play a couple of games. Simplicity, again, it does make things a lot easier. People always do ask, can this replace my computer? Well, if you only email and search, you know, the internet and do Facebook, yes, it can. But if you do other stuff, then that's when it becomes a little difficult. But just such a great pro I would add there, because of the simplicity of just checking your mail and searching the web without having to know a lot. So anyway, that was a long-winded answer, but that's one of the pros as well. Next thing is, whenever you do buy an iPad or an iPhone or iPad mini or any Apple product, there's always a great selection of accessories. Specifically for the iPad, probably almost every major distributor or manufacturer has signed on to make products, accessories for the iPad. So that's another great pro, is that, you know, that case that you want, you're going to be able to find it. You're going to be able to find it in a million colors. You're going to be able to find different options. A lot of other tablets, although I love, like, for example, the Galaxy Note 10, which is Samsung, one of their new tablets, it's great, but there's just not enough accessories out there for it. So you might get it, but you can't find the color you want, or you can't find the right case, or, you know, not as many manufacturers have signed on. So it's a great tablet to accessorize as well. So you can definitely find your favorite color. You can find little stylus pens. You can find little stands. You can find little speakers. I mean, anything you can think of. Earthquake, sorry about that. You can think of, you can find for this tablet. So that's another great pro for the iPad specifically. Is great support in terms of accessories. Let's see. In terms of battery life, has been very good in the experience that I've had it. Around 10 hours. It also has a great standby time. And what standby time is, when you turn the screen off, let's say you get busy, you can't use your iPad for a couple of days, and you forgot to plug it in and charge it. Well, guess what? The battery's not going to be at zero. And at least in the experience where I was working with it, I remember there were a couple of days I didn't get to use it, and it still held the charge fairly well. It doesn't mean the battery is not going to drain. The battery will go down, but, you know, I have other tablets where if I come back to it in a day, it's literally just, it's off, it's dead. This one, the battery definitely did maintain some charge, even if I didn't use it for a couple of days. So that's another great pro. I always love pointing that out. The last thing, and this is another again feature that's kind of, it's an iPad feature, but it's also with the operating system, which is iOS 7. You do get Pages, Numbers, and Keynote for free now, and you're probably saying, what is that? Well, these 3 apps are apps you used to have to pay for. It used to be $10 each, and now you basically get them for free. Pages is like Apple's version of Microsoft Word. Numbers is their version of Excel, and Keynote is their version of PowerPoint. So you can actually, if you have a PowerPoint you're working on, you can actually open it on the iPad and look at it and make some tweaks, not a lot of tweaks, as well as being able to create your own custom documents, spreadsheets, or PowerPoints right from the iPad. So these used to be paid apps, now they're free, and that's just a great plus because now you don't have, now it comes with a word processing app in case you do want to type a little letter or do something like that. You also get iMovie for free, which is an app you can use to edit little videos that you record, and you also get iPhoto for free. So with those apps you can also work with your photos and do some cool features and edits and crops and different things like that, and put filters on it. So again, all those are things that were paid features and now they're all free. So that's a great plus, and I'm really glad Apple has added those as being free. Let's jump over to the con section, and the first con is going to be that there is no expandable memory. So when you do buy this tablet, guess what? You cannot raise the memory later. This is it. This is the only option that you have. So if you get 16 gig, you fill it up, you're out of luck. There is the iCloud, but iCloud, it's a little tricky because you can store things in the cloud, but it's not as accessible as people think it is. So you can't just, oh, I have 16 gigs and then I have 100 gigs in the cloud or whatever. So basically all that to say that other tablets you do have an option to plug in an external memory card, and with that memory card you would be able to increase the memory if you wanted to get more storage, like store videos, music, pictures, things like that. Next con is going to be that I really thought they were going to add the Fingerprint Scanner, which they have added to the iPhone 5s, and I was a little disappointed when they didn't add that. So that was kind of a con. I thought they were going to roll that out kind of at the same time. I feel like I guess they're going to wait and do it later, but I thought it would have been really cool to have that Fingerprint Reader, not necessarily for locking the tablet, but for things like buying apps or buying music or buying songs. The way that device worked is when you tapped the home button, which is the button right here. It's kind of hard to see it, but when you tap it, you can basically buy. So if you were at a song and you wanted to buy, you don't have to put in your password. You just tap it, it'll read your fingerprint, and it'll purchase it for you. Apps, music, books, videos, all that stuff. So I don't know, I was disappointed. I thought they were going to add that. They haven't added that yet. Maybe next year. Last but not least, this is con number 3. And again, this is a kind of to each their own type of thing, but I feel like they just haven't changed enough, and maybe that's why, you know, I guess we're fortunate that they haven't raised the price on it. Obviously, you guys may have heard that the iPad mini originally came out for $329, and now this year's model is $400. So they have done a $70 price increase on the iPad mini. Now, one of the pros of the Air is that they have not raised the price. It is still, for the base model, it is $499. So I don't know. That's kind of a pro and a con at the same time. I feel like, you know, I want more features. I want them to really push the envelope and make this thing do more, because we're at a point where there's so many other great tablets that are out there. The iPad doesn't stand out, no questions asked, as the one to get now, where originally when it first came out no one could even hold a candle to it. Now there are other tablets that are better, designing is better, you can expand the memory, functionality is going to do more. The Galaxy Note 8-inch and 10-inch come with a stylus pen that you can actually write. You can do drawings, take notes, and Apple hasn't gotten there yet, or at least they're working on it, but they haven't released it. And so overall, I just wanted to see more instead of just a couple of tweaks to the operating system. So anyway, let's jump to the real question, which is it worth it or is it a waste to get the iPad Air? Can we get a little drum roll? Alright, so when it comes to the iPad Air, we would have to give this a worth it. Even though they haven't added a lot of extra features, for the price, it's still a really great tablet. I've always loved just the apps. Great fluidity with the apps, great app selection. You got over almost 1 million apps now you can choose from, tons of free apps. The simplicity of this tablet to use is definitely there. If you've never had a tablet, you can definitely get one of these with a couple basic instructions. You can basically get started using this thing. Again, the web browsing is great. The email app is really awesome just for checking your emails. I think it's just a real simple device, and although the iPad mini with Retina, when we did this same video, I did not recommend that when I said that was a waste. I do feel that for $100 more, go ahead and get the iPad Air. It's going to be lighter. It's going to do everything the mini is going to do. Overall, and this is just again for me, I originally had the regular size iPad and I switched to the iPad mini over this last year, and to be honest, I have missed the larger screen that you get with the regular size iPad. So I don't know. For me, I feel like you're going to want the bigger screen more than you're going to want the portability of the iPad mini, especially when it comes to watching videos, YouTube, Netflix, Hulu. Even when it comes to surfing the web, when you pull up a website, you can look at the whole site from this screen. But try and look at it on the screen of the mini, it's harder. And you know, it just, everything is so much smaller. So overall, I feel like the iPad mini, the iPad Air is definitely worth it. Although they haven't had a lot of bells and whistles, I feel like those things are going to come. But this is a great product, and I think anyone that purchases it is going to be very satisfied with it. I didn't talk a lot about the new M7 chip, but that's also another addition to the iPad Air, which does make it. It was A7, M7. I might have said that wrong. Don't quote me if I did. But they have added a new chip so that it is a lot faster. A lot of people have confirmed same thing, that it's a faster, more fluid experience. You do also have a great game selection as well if you do like to play games on it too. And again, you know, this is definitely a great tablet to jump on if you're thinking about getting one. You guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you like, favorite, and share the video. Also, make sure you subscribe to our channel if you're not on YouTube, as well as on Facebook, facebook.com/H2TechVideos. Like our page, and follow us on Instagram at H2TechVideos. Thanks for watching. Take care and have a good one.